Welcome to Insurance Alert Broadcast. I am Vivek Jain, Editor-in-Chief. Today we are going to talk to Mr. Jamal Asfour. Mr. Jamal is a CEO of Insurance Corporation of Afghanistan and find out what is the situation of insurance in Afghanistan and what he sees the future of insurance in Afghanistan. He is also winner of Insurance Alert Asia's Finest CEO Award 2020. So let's talk to him. How is insurance in your country?
Insurance in Afghanistan is, as you know, due to the wars, still in the infancy stage. But the potential is extremely huge.
Okay.
Peace process is underway. The last government, they formed a Ministry of Peace to negotiate with the Taliban, and they've had intense negotiations for more than 30 days in Doha.
Yeah.
And I'm being optimistic that things would improve in Afghanistan, despite turbulences. Like yesterday, they had a huge explosion, but it was by ISIS. Unfortunately, where many people died, tens of people died. Let's hope and be optimistic things will improve with the peace process, but still some organizations are still on the ground that they promote terrorism. And we hope that with the peace concluded with the Taliban, the country will have unity to eliminate such organizations, so the country would be able to stabilize and move forward in the right direction. And supported, of course, by neighboring countries, mainly India, Pakistan, despite their differences. But I think we need to reach compromises in order for the situation to improve. Otherwise, we will always be at a dead end. So this is a political view for Afghanistan. The economy basically is driven at the moment by export of agriculture, as well as economic grants due to the wars. Basically, when there is stability, foreign direct investment would be expected in the country. Like various MOUs were signed with India, China, to invest in the mining sector, which, according to the United States of America, there is over $1 trillion of natural resources in Afghanistan. And this is a huge potential, but it's peace that is basically delaying such a growth and development of the country.
Fantastic. So maybe in times to come, we'll see better situation and better economic growth.
Absolutely, absolutely. Despite that, as ICA, we weathered the storm of the political situation as well as COVID-19, and had excellent results in 2019 and also in 2020, where in the first 9 months we have a growth of over 50% in our net profits. And we're heading end of this year to basically record results in terms of net premiums as well as net profits. And we have a clear strategy, which based on your email, ingredients of success. Ingredients of success, I would start first with working collectively. As a team, when we work collectively from top to bottom, this would basically drive everyone towards achieving a single goal. And this goal, the communication of this goal and engagement of key management and board reports and board analysis would basically give the team sense of responsibility, sense of belonging, which will drive them all and boost their eagerness toward achieving that goal. So I will start with the first point of the key ingredients of success is working collectively. Secondly, I would say fortune favors the brave. Basically, for me personally and for the key investors of our company, to invest in a country that is war-torn is not a normal practice for investors. You need to have a very high risk appetite.
Yeah.
To go there, to deliver, to improve, this is not an easy task. So basically, fortune favors the braves, as per the saying. Investing in such countries would yield exponential growth compared to other regions which are saturated, and the potential would be huge in such war-torn countries. And there would be a lot of development, infrastructure, healthcare, which is our fastest growing insurance growth line. Basically, my personal experience in health insurance managed to grow the company in health insurance from 2,000 insured members to over 8,500 in less than 2 years. And we, I've adopted strategies of benchmarking, how other neighboring countries tailor-made insurance products. We took that into consideration and made basically product mix for health insurance that is interesting for the client. Mentioning the client, point number 3, be in the client's shoes whenever you want to take a decision. My approach is basically consultative selling. I put myself into the client's shoes and I take the decision as if I'm the client. I don't want the business. I want the best interest for the client. If my competitor offers something better, I would advise my client, go to my competitor. So this is how I operate. I want to have and offer extra value proposition. If the extra value proposition was elsewhere, I would welcome that. I would welcome such a criticism to improve myself, improve my team capabilities, my product structure, my reinsurance. Point number 4, reinsurance is basically the center of any insurance company. So with the right reinsurers, with the right relationships with the reinsurers, certain products can be tailor-made and minimize exposure of small companies, cedents, and convince reinsurers with a case, strong case, projections, basically rule of thumb. There is a rule of thumb in reinsurance. If it is applied by best practice, there is no rocket science in it, but applying the insurance science, it will basically make it feasible for reinsurers to grant capacity in line with the projections, true and fair projections that would be profitable and mutual to both cedents and reinsurers. So these, like in summary, the ingredients of success from my point of view.
That's fantastic. What are your distribution model?
Basically, ICA is a commercial insurer at the moment because retail business is nearly non-existent in Afghanistan. So basically, direct selling, personal selling, we have equipped team. We invest in training and development in order to have higher underwriting know-how. As I mentioned, the consultative approach, collection approach. So we sit, we discuss, we together take decisions in launching a given product. And this given product, my account handlers basically approach clients directly and win business, applying the strategy of the customers first. I don't mind losing to my competitor if my competitor offers the better insurance product. So I'll always go there as an advisor, not as a seller. And this transparency basically have been a very extremely winning strategy. It increased trust from clients that we are there for their best interest, not just to win the business. So this is this approach since my career began. I've learned by doing. Actually, I through experience. I didn't have this approach at the start, but when I adopted this approach, I saw no, it's better not to win one big account if it's not in line with what I just mentioned, customers first, because eventually a competitor will come and beat you to that account if it was just for achieving revenue. But if it was for your client's best interest, your client would always give you their vote. And the sense of trust would be there, and the transparency. And this is how we approach and win business. If we go, try us, we start with try us, basically. If a new client, try us and see our transparency measures. We are an open book, very transparent. Like we have challenges in the market, like basically people are not basically aware that there is A-rated reinsurers, there is the London market, there is capacities, there is AM Best, there is Standard and Poor's. So we started talking about these to clients directly and coaching them for their best interest. So as an example, like one client, they had a political violence policy from ex-competitor. My team, like last year, could not win the business. So I managed to go get engaged personally with the owner of the client and gave him full consultancy. And through my connections in the reinsurance market, I learned that it was not reinsured even. So this would put my client, the potential client, at risk. So I explained to him the full case. I showed him the documentation. I gained his trust, basically. He said, okay, I'm going to work with you. That person is my friend for 10 years. You are a foreigner, a Jordanian guy who is giving me hands-on advice, spot-on advice. I'm going to follow that. I said, this is how I operate. I'll tell you. Go there. If he provides you this, this, and that, since he's your friend. He tried his friend to give him the documents in line with best practices, and he failed. I said, it's your call. I just want your protection. So this is exactly how I'm operating in this market or any potential market. This would give clients comfortability and would give also my team, the board, comfortability. This would be a win-win for all parties involved in the transaction. And if you play that way, I don't think things would be difficult for any company to succeed. If all others, they apply the same practices, it would then be who can serve you better.
Yeah.
The response, availability, these things. So it's a checklist, and we are applying the checklists in line with international best practices.
Yeah. Fantastic. So basically, in your country, there is not much of retail business. What you do is basically all corporate business.
Yes, commercial lines, health insurance, group personal accidents insurance, motor fleet insurance. These are the key lines in the market. There is very limited retail business, which is travel insurance. That is a requirement for embassies for traveling. Yeah. But due to the peace, there is no peace. Most of the embassies, they're not granting visas in Afghanistan. Mm. So the product is like the volume of this business is extremely low. Like only one country currently is granting visas, which is Turkey. But all others, like European Union, they're not granting visas in Afghanistan. So this business, when peace is back, will definitely trigger exponential growth in travel insurance. Because now all the people who wants to travel to Europe would need to go to Pakistan, to India, to neighboring countries to apply for visas in those countries. And according to regulations, they need to get their insurance policy from that country where they are applying for. So this is the issue of retail business in Afghanistan. And it's normal, like if you look at the GDP per capita in Afghanistan, it's one of the lowest in the world. So affording insurance by retail is quite difficult these days. We basically explored through this major distribution challenge, which still needs legal framework like bank assurance, to create micro insurance products. The benchmark was India. They had successful products in India on micro insurance, which we studied, and it's in our pipeline, awaiting that the framework of the legal structure of, for example, bank assurance is in place by the central bank, which would basically give some sort of umbrella coverage for various segments of the population. So this is in our pipeline to launch retail business, because we need such distribution, wide distribution, because currently we are like a commercial insurer, and a partnership with banks or telcos would boost retail business, but still the legal framework is not there. But the plan is there, and we are optimistic that the government would improve. We're advising the government. We gave them various white papers on how other markets are operating, that banks can sell insurance on behalf of insurance companies, because there are restrictions now in the law that says a bank cannot sell insurance. So we are advising them how to basically improve the text of the laws. Okay, the bank cannot sell insurance as a bank, but through an intermediary, which is us as an insurance company, and they become an intermediary, we need to have the law amended to be in line with other regional countries, so we can move forward. So we are pushing, advising the government with best practices and giving benchmarks of other countries, and we're optimistic it would move forward. Yeah, so we can basically expand into retail business.
Because in India, bank assurance is a very big business. 45 to 40% is premiums are through bank assurance channel only.
Exactly. Like also in Afghanistan, due to the poor regulations, mortgages are not there, like to buy a car and pay installments on 5-7 years. Still, these products are not available by the banks even. So because like there is due to the instability, it would be difficult to go and get your money back as a bank. Like it's not an easy task. So the stability issue, the peace issue, would allow banks to basically lend more, take risks more, and complementing that, insurance would be required. And bank assurance then would represent a huge chunk of the premium of the market, because like people want to buy houses, want to buy new cars. This would all trigger insurance. Life insurance would be triggered as well. All these would become as a complement together as one package. So we've explored this, and we're advising, hoping that in the short time things would improve, all pending the peace and how the peace progresses. But I'm optimistic it's progressing in the right direction, because I'm seeing like foreign investors inquiring more on Afghanistan. They see the news, they see the peace activity. So in terms of infrastructure projects, electricity, water, power, we are seeing inquiries. We are seeing like activity from the Ministry of Electricity on promoting certain infrastructure projects. And we do see Indian contractors, Pakistani contractors, even like Irish contractors and other countries looking at these projects and considering investment.
That's good. And
so basically, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, continue. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm a Jordanian national, just to mention, and my experience, I'm basically, they call me Mr. Danger.
Okay.
Because I worked in Iraq for 7 years. Now I'm in Afghanistan. So I'm the guy who goes to the hardest conflict zones. So that's what the reinsurance brokers, one of them a few days ago, one of the biggest reinsurance brokers, you are Mr. Danger. I told him, I'm tagged to conflict zones and I'm happy about it. I'm like adding value to these countries, and it's been mutual. And basically, I have the passion to develop sectors from scratch, launch, be a pioneer. For example, health insurance, I was the pioneer in Iraq. And here, the product was there, but I've refined it and made it, along with my team, something extraordinary that is eye-catching for the potential and existing clients through partnerships with like international providers of evacuation services where it is really required in Afghanistan. So these perks are really required for this market. It might not be required for stable countries like Dubai. Now I'm in Dubai. Like you don't see people having evacuation here. The healthcare is amazing. They can go and have treatment over here. But in Afghanistan, I need, basically I have a contract with Apollo Hospital in India. For my insured members, they can go to Apollo. Same applies for Pakistan. Like we need these relationships to help the local community to get the best treatment. Like my product always includes Central Asia, not just Afghanistan. So there is options if the medical treatment is not available locally, they can go to India, they can go to Pakistan, they can go to Kazakhstan and get the necessary treatment they need. Yeah.
That's good. And how many insurance companies are there in Afghanistan? General insurance?
In Afghanistan, there are five companies.
General insurance.
One of them, yes, we are a composite insurer. We sell life and non-life. And there is the National Insurance Company, Afghan National Insurance Company, Afghan Global Insurance, Sky Insurance, and there is Iranian companies only focusing on Iranian travel insurance, one of them. And recently, like one company just launched, so 6 in total. And in the pipeline, I've heard news that there is another one new company also planning to register in Afghanistan. So the insurance market is still in an infancy stage. It's a virgin market. The premium is not sizable, but profitable, let's call it, and allows competitors to enter the market. And I feel I like if competitors all apply best practices, that would be healthy to the market. I would welcome competition. As long as they apply the insurance best practices, reinsurance, and the regulator themselves are improving capabilities of audits on companies, risk retention in line with their financial capabilities, solvency margin. So this would basically filter who's the reliable and non-reliable insurers for current and potential clients.
And how is the life insurance market?
It's also commercial lines, as I just mentioned.
Okay.
So yes, like expats working in want to come to Afghanistan. The first request would be, I need personal accidents insurance, including terrorism, and life insurance in case of death. So this is any expat would need it. Like me personally, before I went to Afghanistan, as CEO of the insurance company, our company applies the practices. So they all gave me the certificate of the personal accidents insurance, the life insurance, that it's in place with the rated reinsurers. So you can come as an expat, like, so God forbid, you'll never know what happens. But an expat going there, having personal accidents insurance is of crucial importance because of the risk of terrorism. So this is how life and PA are highly demanded in the country. These are the reasons, basically.
You have a regulatory bodies also for insurance?
Excuse me?
Regulatory body, like we have IRDAI in India.
Yes, I mentioned just a while ago, like we were always discussing with the General Directorate of Insurance, GDIA.
Okay.
GDIA, and they've been very active trying to improve the regulation. Basically, they've amended the law recently, which they passed to the parliament to ban and fine companies that insures outside of the country to protect the insurance industry locally, which is a really good progress in a very short time. With clear finance structure mentioned in the law, in line with best practices, which will basically boost the insurance market, because there are many foreign companies who procure their insurance abroad instead of buying from local companies. And what I liked about the new law, it's mentioned clearly, like if the policy is available locally for you as an investor, and the local company provides you the certificates and we audit them, that all is in order, you have to buy from the local market. Otherwise, if they are not capable to provide you the right reinsurance, the right requirements, you will be allowed after our approval as GDIA to buy your insurance from abroad. So that's a good progress. That's a very amazing progress, to be honest.
Fine, sir. You gave us a lot of knowledge about your country and how insurance is doing in your country. And sure, the future will be much, much better than what the situation today is. Starting of a new relationship. So we'll take this further in times to come. Whenever the situation is good, maybe we can plan some meeting or something like that.
With pleasure. With pleasure. Like, send me also a new email about the basically the awards for the company.
Sure,
Let me apply also for the company, because last year I won the CFI award, and this year I'm maybe winning the CFI award again.
Yeah.
So why not also have an accolade from Insurance Alerts for the ICA as a company, not just me personally.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I'll mail it to you.
For you want my picture now, then you can give me some sort of something so I can post online and post on my company website about winning the finest CEO award, right? You just need my picture.
Yeah. You can mail it to me. Or you can mail it to me.
I will do it ASAP. Now, I think I'm looking good. I'm going to take a picture.
No problem, sir.
All right. Thank you, Vivek.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure talking
to you. Thank you, sir. It was really nice. Thank you.
Likewise. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.